Hey guys, it's Aislinn. In today's video, we are going to be doing Mariah's hair again. We have a lot to do because we have not done her hair since August 21st. I went back and I looked and it's been that long, which is crazy because I have not bleached my roots since August 16th. So we haven't bleached our roots literally within the same week, which is insane. Obviously mine looks like I bleached it because I bleached this front section, but our hair is both grown out like the same amount. So we do have to bleach her roots on this side of her head. There's quite a bit of grow out, so we have to touch up her roots over here. So our first step is going to be bleaching that side of her head. And then once we rinse that out, we have to touch up the black side, and then we are going to do a new color on the other half of her head. And it's something we have not done before, which is very exciting. And I'm sure you guys can guess by my makeup and obviously by the thumbnail. We are doing half black, half red, which is classic. I feel like it's like classic emo. Back in the day, I did that on my hair. I feel like every emo has like done that before. So I'm excited to do that today, and I don't get to do red a lot, so I'm excited to do it when I can. I've already mixed up the lightener. We're using Clairol Basic White Bleach. It's from Sally Beauty, and I'm using 30 volume developer. And then, as you guys know, I recently got Olaplex, so I did add some Olaplex into the mixture. So we're gonna go ahead and apply this onto the half that needs bleached. So I'm doing a voiceover. When Mariah comes over and I do her hair, it's like the one time we get to catch up. We don't really see each other much in between, like me doing her hair, because she does live like an hour and a half away from me, so we don't get to see each other as much as we would like. So most of the time when she comes over and I'm doing her hair, we're just like catching up on everything that's been going on. So obviously I'm not gonna like include the audio of what we were talking about in the video, but as you can see, I am just applying that lightener, and I'm starting by applying it on that middle part of where her regrowth is. Because it had been like 4 or 5 months since we last bleached her roots, her hair had grown out quite a bit, and as your hair grows out, it keratinizes, which makes it a little bit more difficult to lift. So just to ensure an even lift, I went ahead and applied the lightener on the middle of the area where her grow out was, and then once I get done applying that, I'll go back in and apply the bleach directly on the scalp. The roots directly off of your scalp are going to lift a lot quicker. One, because you have heat coming off of your scalp, which is going to lift them faster. And then also because that hair has not had the chance to be keratinized yet and like have that harder outer shell on the cuticle. So it just lifts a lot faster than the other hair. Okay, so I got that applied. I'm just going to sit and watch it and wait for it to get light enough. Then I'm going to go back through because I avoided like a little bit of her regrowth because it's going to have to sit on longer since her hair is so grown out. So I'm just going to wait until this hits like a level 8, go back in, apply it on her roots, and then I will be back once we have this washed off to apply the 2 other colors. All right, we're back, and we obviously washed out the bleach on her roots, so now she's a nice platinum color. I did a test strand of the red all the way through her hair to make sure it was going to cover that blue and green. So here is the test strand we did, and at the root area it is a little bit brighter than it was like on her ends, so I decided to just deepen the red at the root a tiny bit more so that way it would flow nicely into the ends and it would all be like, you know, a nice uniform color. So let me show you the red we mixed up. Here are the 2 colors. They're absolutely beautiful. I did swatch them for you, so here's what they look like. This is obviously going to be the root color, and all I did was add some black to the normal red color just to deepen it up and give it more of that like rich blood red. And then this is the red that's going to go all over the rest of her hair. So for the red shade, I used quite a few things. You guys know I don't have a lot of red around here because I don't use it in my hair. So I used pretty much every red I had left over. I used Lunar Tide's True Lust, and I also used a thing of Lunar Tide's Blood Moon. Blood Moon is a little bit darker than True Lust, so I wanted to use more of the Blood Moon. And then I used some Strawberry Leopard in the shade Fire. And then of course, to deepen like the root color, I just used this Eclipse Black. And then for the black side of her head, we are using this Ion Permanent Color and Midnight Blue Black, which is 2B. And I mixed this with 10 volume developer. And of course, I added Olaplex to all the color we're using today. And I am also doing step 2 on her hair. So we're gonna go ahead and apply the red, and it's gonna be fantastic. I'm very, very excited about it. It's gonna look amazing. I love red and black together. And we have this dye defender, and we put this around her hairline on the black side. It just prevents staining on her skin, and it smells so good. This is from Fremar.
You've been doing hair dyeing videos on me for a couple years now, right?
Yes.
And I am not any less awkward at them now than I was from the beginning.
That is okay.
Because I always sit here while you're like talking and shutting everything off. I'm like, what do I do? Like, what am I supposed to look at? I don't want to just stare and make awkward eye contact forever.
You're doing great.
I literally just sit here and think the whole time. I'm like, what do I do? Like, what do I look at? So I just look around at everything.
You're doing great. I forgot to mention, but I did bring down the lightener over that blue band just the last 5 to 8 minutes during her processing time. The blue was still pretty prominent and it stuck in the hair really well, which is a good thing most of the time, but when you're trying to switch colors, it's not the best. So I just drug that bleach down the last like 5 minutes of processing time to try and lighten it a tiny bit. I think the red probably would have covered it. It just would have been a little bit more obvious, and the red would have had more of a maroon purple where the blue area was. So I just wanted to try and lighten that to more of a pastel color before I apply the red on top of that. So like I said, I decided to deepen the regrowth area and then do the ends a lighter red just to try and make it a little bit more even. Now looking back on it, I wish I would have made the regrowth even darker, like a super, super dark, rich blood red, because when you rinse out the color, there's really not much of a difference between the two red colors, and I was kind of hoping there would be. Also, you'll see at the end result, but where that blue was, you can see it's just a little bit darker of a red in some areas. It still looks really good, and it's more obvious on camera where those darker blue areas were, but in person, you don't see those areas as much. The camera always picks up everything different than in person. It turned out really good, and I'm still very impressed that we were able to go predominantly blue, green, and yellow all the way to red. We're just doing it very smart and like a very gentle way. So here you can see I'm applying the black, and I'm only putting it on her regrowth for right now. Later I will drag it through her ends, but for now we're just hitting all of the roots that have grown out. And as you can see, I'm applying the black in a way where it's not going to touch the red. So I'm actually working in horizontal sections. I'm working from the back of her head forward, and I'm just laying all that hair back so that way it doesn't go on top of the red. All right, we got the black and the red applied on both sides. So we're gonna let this process for 45 minutes. And once we're 30 minutes in processing, I'm going to drag the black through her ends. She just has some pieces that have faded brown, so we're just gonna refresh everything. We're gonna rinse using cold water on the red side, and then on the black side, we're gonna go ahead and shampoo, deep condition, and I will be back to show you the finished product, and it's gonna be incredible. All right, you guys, we are back, and here's how her hair turned out. It's so good. Like, to think about where we started and where we are now, it's crazy how like even compared to like how many different colors and stuff we started with. We followed up with the Olaplex #2 treatment on her hair, and then when I styled it, I used some K18 and I used all Ex Mondo products, and it made her hair feel really nice. Also, her hair's just getting healthier. This is a hair journey for both of us this year. We're on a journey to treat our hair better. I will spin her around and show you the full 360 of everything. So here you can see the color turned out absolutely amazing and pretty even for what we started with. There are just a few spots where the blue was that's a little bit darker, but overall it turned out really great. That is all for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to check out my Instagram. The link to that is in the description down below. I post way more of my everyday life on there. I will also leave a link to Mariah's Twitch stream in the description down below, so if you want to check her out. Give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. I love you guys so much, and until next time guys, stay weird. Bye.